here we are, Mindful Monday. We're in this amazing portal. Welcome, welcome, welcome. We're in this amazing portal 4422, the resonance frequency of abundance, of blessings. You feeling it raining down today? Hopefully, every day we're in that alignment, but especially when we have such a special frequency like this coming in today. So, of course, our meditation is going to be able to not only tap into those frequencies of abundance, prosperity, love, but maybe dive in a little bit to what's blocking us from those things. So we'll do a little bit of work in the shadows in our meditation, just bringing the awareness. And as usual, we come together each week, Monday, and our YouTube, our meditation is also put up on YouTube. So if you want to follow along on YouTube, and the idea is to have access to this meditation throughout our week so that we can practice. And there is a lot of meditations now up on our YouTube channel. So, you have lots of access to be able to find your way home, find your way home to your heart, find your way home to the present moment. And so each week we come in to our Zoom room and we start with a settling meditation to just bring us home and present to the moment. So we're just going to start by taking that nice deep breath into the heart. Coming into the heart. Saying hello to the heart. And we begin by softening. Softening. Softening our body, becoming present in the body, becoming present in the now, in the moment. We're going to start with that area at the top of your head. And if you'd like, with breath and intention, go ahead and open that crown chakra up so that you're really open to receive this beautiful meditation. So with breath and intention, we'll go ahead and open up that crown, picturing, sensing a beautiful lotus flower at the top of your head. That with each breath, we begin to open petal by petal this incredible, beautiful opening that connects you with the divine, with the all that is. Knowing that this meditation practice is for your highest good, and the highest good for all of humanity, and the highest good for Pachamama. Knowing that this is a safe and sacred space for you to explore your feelings and allow them to show up and soften, soften, soften into them. And so we begin with that beautiful crown open, connected. And we begin to bring that awareness to the top of the head in a deeper way by softening the scalp, the muscles, softening in through the forehead, and bringing that awareness to the area around your eyes, your temples. Bringing that soft gaze, or maybe wanting to close your eyes. Soft gaze or closing eyes, either way, We're softening. Bringing the awareness in through the nose and sinus area. Just breathing in, feeling the air coming in and out of your nose. And softening. And softening into the area in your jaw. Carry a lot of tension. We clench and tighten into the jaw. So today we're just going to take this moment and soften the jaw. You might even want to bring that slack jaw. Opening the mouth just a little. Bringing that half smile. Smiling to our insides. Smiling to our heart. Smiling to this moment. Coming into the throat, the neck, the cervical spine. Opening, expanding, maybe moving your neck around your head. See if you can feel some spaciousness as you soften, as you bring your awarenesses here. Noticing how the shoulders just want to soften and release. Release. Releasing the tensions of the day. Releasing the worries of the mind. Allowing yourself to just be here, right here, now. Right here in soft, soft cushion. Soft now. Soft you. Soft present moment. Opening up the chest a little more. Saying hello to your heart. Thanking your heart. Feeling the rise and fall of your chest as you breathe. Expansion, contraction. Expansion, contraction. The natural flow of life. Breathing you right now. With each rise and fall of your chest. And bringing that awareness into the belly. Breathing into the belly and softening. Softening the belly, thanking the belly and all your beautiful organs. Noticing your spine. Breathing into the pelvic bowl. And allowing that pelvic bowl and those hips to soften and widen and hold you. And feeling that energy flow of softening and grounding in the legs, the hamstrings, and softening the knees, and that little area behind the kneecap. All the way down into our beautiful feet. Breathing into the feet and every little toe and toenail. Thanking our feet, softening. Softening into the present moment. Softening into the beauty of the now. Just scanning your body for a moment to see if there is still any tension, where it might be, and seeing if you can bring awareness, softness, gentleness. Just breathing into that area that is still holding on. We come to our meditation practice as a way to train as warriors of love and light. We train the mind to stay present. We train the body to be soft and allowing. So it's a practice. It's a practice to stay here and not allow the mind to run its freight train through our lives. We want to stay present because it's here in this moment that we can tap into our highest frequency. It's here that we can feel a sense of gratitude. It's in the present moment where we can really fully open our hearts to the magic and the mystery of what is unfolding for you now. It's in the present moment that the universe winks at you and gives you the nods of synchronicities. If we allow the freight train in our brain to have continuous thoughts, it takes us out of the present moment and puts us somewhere different, missing all of the winks and nods from the universe, from the divine, sourcing the energy that is here for you now. So we train, and we come to Mindful Monday to come home to present moment. And to explore a little bit deeper this way of conscious living. And each time the freight train takes off from the station and we've recognized that the mind has wandered, we just gently come back home. Home to the body, home to what is. Using all the senses to come alive back in to the now. The sense of smell, taste, touch, hearing the sounds around you without attachment, not needing for them to be quiet, but just allowing. Feeling, sensing, sensing. What is truth in this moment? Your senses will tell you what is truth. We come home over and over again without judgment, letting the judger rest that lives within us. And when the judger does show up, we just recognize the judger and come back to the senses, come back to the present. And we continue to soften. And doing another body scan and just noticing where you can soften just a little more. Can you breathe into that space in the back of your heart and just soften just a little more? Can you loosen that area between your shoulder blades? Just by breathing into it and allowing. Home and present and awake, awake in our lives, in this glorious moment of now. And if you would like to dedicate your practice today to a special being, perhaps someone that needs some extra lovin', or a place, now is a good time to dedicate your practice if you are so called to do. And so here we are moving into the heart of our practice today, tapping into these frequencies that are available in this very special portal on 4422. And we understand that this frequency is all about the alignment of our true blessings and the alignment of prosperity. So we understand if we're talking the frequency of prosperity, then we have to understand that the frequency of finance and the frequency of love and our relationships live in the same house. So this means that if we are blocked in one area, most likely we are blocked in both. So, yes, what does that have to do with the energy of 4422? Whew. Well, when we look deeply at those blocks, we may find some feelings of unworthiness in there. And if we have these blocks of unworthiness, perhaps a story or belief system, then we are not going to be able to receive these beautiful frequencies. And so we know that those old stories and beliefs that have been ingrained tell us, in fact, that we do not deserve. We do not deserve these feelings, and unworthiness perpetuates the blocks. That we do not deserve to be loved or to prosper in any way. So perhaps those feelings of unworthiness that are blocking the flow of this magnificent energy need to be softened, removed, checked. And yes, we can do this through meditation, by coming home, by softening, being present. So in the heart of our practice today, we'll begin to unhook some of these stories of unworthiness so that we can come into the alignment and actually be the channel for all of these blessings that are flowing all around us with ease. So Pema Chodron talks a lot about Shenpa Well, in most Buddhist traditions, they speak of Shenpa, or what the shaman calls the hooks. And these are the triggers that prompt us to close down, to not be present, to indulge in the trance of unworthiness. We get hooked in to the trance, hooked in the moment of tightening, right when we want relief. So we have to begin to recognize the moments of unease, and we have to soften into that moment. This is how we get unhooked. This is how we allow that Shenpa to just be, just by releasing and softening. So that word Shenpa is usually translated to attachments, but more descriptive translation might be that hooked. It almost feels like a hook. When Shenpa hooks us, we're likely to feel stuck and stagnant. It's a sticky feeling. And a lot of times we'll begin to recognize that in the physical body before the emotional awakening happens. So we begin to start noticing different levels of tightening, tensing, closing down, shutting off the world, withdrawing, not wanting to be where we are, but not wanting to be anyplace else, not feeling the motivation to be anyplace else. That tight feeling begins to own us as we disappear into the trance of Shenpa. That tight feeling is the power to stay in self-sabotage, to blame, to carry our shame and anger and jealousy. And where that thinking mind goes to those places, then our words and our actions begin to follow up. And this is what ends up blocking us. It becomes true blocks from the energy flows of the blessings that are right here, right now, ready for you to breathe in, explore. So we begin it right here, right now, to tidy up in our practice, and we begin again and again. We begin right here, right now, in this practice today on our cushion. And our practice teaches us how to open and soften to whatever arises without us having to pick and choose. It teaches us to soften into the uneasiness, to soften into those sticky feelings, to soften in and see when the self-sabotager is here and wants to put their hooks in. When we're awake and in the moment, we can move from that trance space in the unworthy trance, in the Shanpa's trance. We can recognize it. It teaches us to soften. And we do so by leaning in and learning to come back to the present moment, here, now. We stay with any uneasiness. We stay and soften the tightening. We don't move into our screens to remove the uneasiness, or our food to remove the uneasiness. We don't reach out to our lovers to remove the uneasiness, the itch, the tightening. We train. We train in our sitting still with our desires to move, to run away. We sit and we train to stay. This is how we learn to stop the chain reaction of the habitual patterns and the stories that will otherwise hijack our lives. This is how we stop the pattern that hijacks our love. And this is how we stop the patterns that hijack our flow of prosperity. We weaken the patterns, we weaken the stories that keep us hooked into unworthiness, that we mistake for comfort. So we stay, we recognize, and when that tightness shows up in the body, we recognize it. We soften, soften, soften. We recognize the urges to reach outside of ourself, and we recognize that self-sabotager. And we just ever lovingly keep returning home to the present moment, to the senses, to the here, to the now. We keep coming home to the body, and we breathe. And we breathe in this present moment with all of these beautiful frequencies that are filled with possibilities. And we soften. We breathe and we soften. We are alive with a basic goodness right here, right now. The Buddhist principle of basic goodness is about how we feel about ourselves at our core. We are fundamentally open-minded, open-hearted, worthy, and good. Basic goodness. Right here. This is who we all are. Fundamentally open-minded, open-hearted, worthy, and good. This is our basic goodness. The basic goodness of humanity is fully intact right here, right now, in this moment, in this unified experience. Breathe it in. That basic goodness of humanity. When we can each feel confident and worthy in our innate basic goodness, imagine the profound effect on the collective consciousness. Imagine the earth and how she will feel with humanity embodying, embracing their basic goodness. Brené Brown talks about, she says, talk to yourself like you would talk to someone that you love. So yes, our self-talk is important. Your basic goodness must be reflected back to you. Sometimes we get caught up in our own imperfections and thinking that perhaps we are not worthy of love. But how can we even love ourselves with all of our imperfections? We are perfectly imperfect beings of love and light. I like how Brené Brown talks about perfectionism as an armor. When perfectionism is driving this train, shame is always riding shotgun. And fear is that annoying backseat driver. So the perfectionist might be feeling a little unworthy based on shame. Soften into your body. Shame, not being worthy or lovable, especially worthy of self-love. Shame is one of the lowest frequencies and one of the biggest blocks to receiving your blessings. The story of not good enough. Did you feel a tightening in your body? Soften and breathe. Come back to your basic goodness. And we breathe in the present moment that is filled with infinite possibilities. And we train. And we soften. And we keep coming home over and over to our basic goodness. Each one of those feelings is a magnificent teacher. A teacher that tells us to wake up from the trance. Wake up from our hooks, from our habitual self-talk that is unkind. To wake up from the trance of the habitual patterns of self-sabotage. To come home to our basic goodness. To come home to the frequencies that are available to you right here, right now. No matter what the chaos is around you, at any given moment, we come home to the now through the senses. We come home to our basic goodness of an open heart, an open mind, of worthiness. And we breathe it in. And we accept it. We allow it. We say yes. So there's a little story of a woman running away from tigers. The chaos. She runs and runs, and the tigers are getting closer and closer. And she comes to the edge of a cliff. And she sees some vines there, so she climbs down and she holds on to the vines. Looking down, she sees that there are tigers below her as well. She then notices that a little mouse is gnawing away at the vine to which she's clinging. She also sees a beautiful bunch of strawberries close to her, growing out of a clump of grass. She looks up and she looks down. She looks at the mouse. And then she takes a strawberry, puts it in her mouth, and enjoys it thoroughly. Tigers above, tigers below. This is actually the predicament that we're always in terms of our life, birth, death. Each moment is just what it is. We might only be that moment of your life. It might be the only strawberry that you'll ever eat. We could get depressed about it. Or we could finally appreciate it and delight in the preciousness of every single moment. So this moment, this place, and this strawberry. You are worthy of the strawberry. In every moment, there is a strawberry. And you deserve it. Enjoy it. Eat it. Breathe it in. The strawberry in this moment is the frequency of your blessings. Tara Brach says our most fundamental sense of well-being is derived from the consensus and the consciousness of the experience of belonging. Relatedness is essential to survival. When we feel part of the whole, connected to our bodies, to each other, to the earth, that there is a sense of inherent rightness, of being wakeful and in love. The experience of universal belonging is at the heart of all mystical traditions. In realizing non-separation, we become home to our truest nature. All of the traditions, shamanic traditions, Buddhist traditions, they teach us that suffering arises out of a feeling of separateness. To the degree that we begin to identify as a separate self. And when we do, we have a feeling that something is just not right. In fact, it's wrong. Something is missing. And this is where we want life to be different than the way that it is. We're suffering from an acute sense of separation, living inside, feeling isolated. It amplifies the feelings, fear, grasping. Feeling separate is an existential trance of Shanpa. We have forgotten our wholeness, the wholeness of our being, and that if, in fact, we are one. And so these energies that are available are here for us in our wholeness, in that there is no separation. That the only thing that blocks you from your true blessings are your trance state that puts you in separation. So we come into our wholeness. We come home to the knowing that we are in fact the frequency of abundance. And we come home to the mere fact that we are interrelated with love. We come home, we are ready here in a frequency of prosperity. It's flowing to you already, here, now. And when we recognize that feeling of separation, this feeling of tightness within the body, this shenpa, we soften. We soften the hooks, give a little bit of love, self-talk, and we allow. We allow, we soften the hooks, and we see them dissipating. We acknowledge the tension in the body and we soften. We are awake to feel the feelings. We acknowledge the tightening in our brain and we soften. We acknowledge when the freight train has taken off out of the station and is on a ride of past or future, anywhere but the present. We just acknowledge it and come back home to the senses, and we soften. We acknowledge the tightness in our energy and the tightness that we have with one another. And we soften, knowing that we are all interrelated. I am you and you are me. The place where we are one. Where we are one in our basic goodness. Knowing that we are worthy. Knowing that we are deserving. knowing that in this moment we are receiving, open to the flow that is ever present. Love flows through us all. Prosperity flows through us all. We are in perfect alignment with our highest frequencies. Let it rain. Let the blessings pour upon you. And so we close our meditation today. Deep breath in. Exhaling, knowing your basic goodness. Knowing that you are in alignment with your most beautiful blessings. Knowing that prosperity and love flow effortlessly for you, with you, around you, from you. Knowing that there is no separation, there is no us and them, there is just oneness. There is just basic goodness. Thank you for joining me today on this beautiful Mindful Monday. I hope in some way this has touched your heart and will help you as you walk through this beautiful portal and into your week, knowing that you are love, that you are worthy, that you can move out of the trance space and into your basic goodness. So much love, so much gratitude. Have a great week, guys.